more water woes.
It could break again tomorrow. It could break again next week.
Improving Calgary's water system is now a long-term project. How will Venezuela affect Canada's oil industry?
We as Canada need to make sure that we take strategic steps so that we can get our oil to market, particularly to the Asian market.
Experts say there's no need to panic. And preventing a common knee injury.
It's become an epidemic where women are injuring themselves 7 times more than men.
The app that could save your ACL.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The City of Calgary expects to fix a broken water main by early next week. In the meantime, Calgarians need to adapt to a new normal and are urged to conserve as much water as possible. City officials say work is continuing 24/7 on the repair and expect the pipe to be operational early next week, with repaving of the road shortly after. The city remains in stage 4 water restrictions. Officials want you to flush your toilet only when necessary, take shorter showers, and only run full loads of laundry and dishes. Boil water advisories have lifted for all impacted communities. Traffic on 16th Avenue Northwest has partially reopened eastbound, but remains closed westbound. Tyson Fedora joins us live from the site of the latest break. And Tyson, in the long term, the city will also be working on a new steel pipe parallel to the broken one.
And Ian, the city is banking on 2 years for that 6-kilometer steel pipe that will be built parallel to the one you see behind me being repaired. That's expected to take place sometime later this year as construction will start. But that will also mean water restrictions potentially up to 2 more years during different parts of the year. Now, shutdowns to the feeder main will take place this spring and this fall to ensure this work can be completed. The city does admit it may have to lower the pressure on water flow through the pipe in an effort to save even more water. The city took 8 months to complete the design phase of the new project. With it now out for tender, construction would start sometime later this year. Officials were planning a 2028 completion date, but expect that timeline to be pushed up and completed sooner. As for businesses in this area, it's unclear how they may be impacted or if they will even be compensated for possible lost revenue.
This beating heart of Calgary's water system is sick, it's dying, it is terminally ill. No amount of patchwork will fix the Bears Paw feeder main to be able to bring it back into reliable service. It could break again tomorrow. It could break again next week. It could break again next month. So that means that we need to change our tolerance for risk as an organization.
Now, an independent panel review report is expected to be before council tomorrow. That's looking at exactly what happened in 2024 when this pipe first burst. It was a promise made by Mayor Jeremy Farkas today that report will be released publicly. That's expected in sometime early next week.
Tyson, thanks very much. Police have released the sketch of a suspect after a man was stabbed while in Fish Creek Park. This is the man police are trying to identify. He's accused of trying to rob another man in the park on October 23rd. The victim was stabbed when he refused to hand over his items. He ended up in hospital needing surgery. Police say the suspect is in his late 40s and was wearing blue Adidas shoes, a black baseball cap, and jeans at the time of the attack. A high-speed crash early Saturday morning has left a youth with life-threatening injuries. An SUV with 5 teens inside was heading north on Deerfoot Trail at around 4 a.m. Police say the driver was not able to handle a curve on the slippery and snowy road and struck a barrier. A female youth who was not wearing a seatbelt was thrown from the vehicle and suffered life-threatening injuries. 2 teens suffered serious injuries while 2 others were taken to hospital as a precaution. Experts say Canada's oil sector shouldn't panic after the U.S. attack on Venezuela. Jacqueline Wilson is following this story for us. And Jackie, what's the local reaction to the news?
Yes, Ian. So I spoke to Richard Masson today. He's an executive fellow at the University of Calgary School of Public Policy, but also the former CEO of the Alberta Petroleum Marketing Commission. He says that everyone just needs to take a deep breath and calm down and realize that it would really take billions and billions of dollars and years of management before Venezuela could ever be in a position to really impact Alberta's energy sector. And he says, because of this turmoil right now, that actually the country is producing less, I should say Venezuela is producing less than last week. So really, in the short term, this could be a positive for Canadian oil prices. He also suggests that this could be a good time for Canada to improve our marketing access, expand our pipelines and adjust some of the environmental regulations that have been quite hard to navigate.
We as Canada need to make sure that we take strategic steps so that we can get our oil to market, particularly to the Asian market, as a means of saying we're independent and we're going to get world price for our oil. And so, we're happy to be a long-term supplier to the U.S. Of course, we always have been, but we want to make sure that we're doing it on fair commercial terms.
Now, the Premier was unavailable for an interview today, but she did send us a statement, and let me read it to you in part. She says that these recent events emphasize the importance of expediting the development of pipelines to diversify our oil exports markets, and that the province is working to submit an application to the Major Project Office and expects the federal government to, of course, move forward with urgency. Ian, back to you.
Thank you, Jackie. An Alberta cabinet minister is heading to Montana tomorrow. The province says Nathan Newdorf's trip is focused on strengthening energy ties with the U.S. Alberta's utility minister will be trying to drum up investment for the electricity market, nuclear energy, and data centers. He will also be giving the keynote address at an event hosted by Montana's Chamber of Commerce. Calgary continues to be picture perfect following last week's fog. There has been very little wind, so trees and shrubs have stayed covered in frost for days. It's prompting lots of people to take photos and to share them on social media. And there you see some pretty spectacular images by one of our own camera people. Oh. And for the record, Danielle, that stuff is called rime ice.
Rime ice, rime frost, not hoarfrost.
Gotcha.
That's from a different situation with regards to the setup. So remember all the freezing fog we had, a lot of super cooled water droplets, froze on contact with all those things to create these pretty pictures. The way you can actually tell the difference, and I don't know if I have time to explain this, but I'm going to go quick here. The way you can tell the difference between rime ice and hoarfrost is if you look at the trees, and if it's only on one side of a lot of trees, that's rime. Okay. I'll share some pictures of that later. All right, there you go. There's another pretty shot of it all. It's been a cold day today. That will change. -15 is the temperature at the moment, with the wind chill -22. Our 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. All right, as you can see, temperatures will actually climb a little bit while we're sleeping. So still a chilly start to the day with a wind chill of -12 at 8 a.m. when off to work and school. But we should get up to +2 in the afternoon. Of course, that comes at the price of some gusty conditions with gusts up to 60 kilometers per hour. More details coming up, Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. After decades of lighting up Calgary, the chair of the Lions Festival of Lights is hanging up his strings at the end of the season. 84-year-old Otto Silzer has been involved with the festival at the Confederation Park Golf Course since it was first launched. He's responsible for organizing the massive group of volunteers, leading the planning committee, designing the event's course, and handling the funding. This year's Festival of Lights ends on January 8th. Following that, Silzer will retire.
I'm not getting any younger, and we started this display 39 years ago. Little did I know that I'd still be here. 3 people, or maybe even 4 people, have come forward now to make sure that this display continues on into the future. So we're happy with all the efforts that have happened.
To learn more about volunteering for the iconic display, visit lionsfestivaloflights.ca. You can hurt your ACL by doing a number of things: skiing, playing soccer, even slipping on the ice. Still to come, a Canadian surgeon's new app aimed at preventing ACL injuries. And a motorhome in flames, how it could have been much worse. Also, If you have a news tip for us, text us at 10400. One man was injured after a motorhome went up in flames in Falcon Ridge early this morning. Emergency crews were called to the vehicle parked on Falworth Way. It was well away from houses along the north side of the road. Crews used suppression foam to put out the fire, which was burning very hot. One man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the blaze is under investigation. And the town of Taber has released new footage showing the moment of the explosion at their arena. It damaged the walls, roof, and gas lines, shutting the building down indefinitely. The town shared the video as part of their entry for the annual Hockeyville campaign, where communities receive $50,000 for upgrades and renovations to their local rink. Boy, 24 hours can make such an enormous difference in this city. It is so chilly right now, but 24 hours from now, it'll be quite a bit warmer.
Toasty.
Yeah.
We're looking at Chinook winds kicking in, but it will be off and on. So we'll kind of go up and down in temperature in many communities in southern Alberta over this next day or two. All right, let's get back to this rime frost. And this is really a cool shot here. This is a little live shot outside our studios. And again, on trees without any sort of leaves, the whole tree could be covered because we had a lot of freezing fog out there that froze on contact. But if you look at some big evergreen trees, one side is totally covered and the other side is green. And that's because it actually shows the wind direction of when we got that freezing fog and where it froze. Anyway, okay, now to the forecast. No freezing fog. Well, maybe a little bit for the rest of today. But by tomorrow, temperatures will be warmer and we're looking at windy, warm conditions. That will be the story through much of this week. 67 kilometers per hour, that was the maximum wind gust in Pincher Creek today, and that was out of the west, and it's still out of the west, which is why temperatures are still warm here. I'm going to show you that in just a second. We did get winds out of the west in Lethbridge gusting 44 kilometers per hour. That carried the temperature up to 3 earlier today in Lethbridge, but then we lost the winds out of the west and temperatures plummeted to -11. In Calgary, we've been predominantly out of the north, and it sure does feel like it with a wind chill of -21. It's warmer in Pincher Creek because of those winds out of the west. We just dropped below freezing there to -1 with a wind chill of -7, but it's been above freezing today. And again, earlier we had those winds out of the west in Lethbridge, brought us above freezing, but now it's plummeted, -19. So what you can expect over these next few days is the on and off winds out of the west. So temperatures will climb quite high, but we will also have little cold periods as well. Tomorrow, the bigger story. Yes, some warmth, but certainly windy conditions to pay that price. 90 kilometer per hour gusts possible in Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge, 50 for Medicine Hat and Brooks, and 60 for Calgary. So a windy day, but out of the right direction if you like these warmer temperatures. Not a whole lot of active weather to talk about, but we will see some snow that will move down the mountains here. So this look at tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, really in through Lake Louise and down to Banff. We're looking at some snowfall. And later in the day, it might pop into the Pincher Creek area. Outside of that, no active weather to the east. So sun and cloud really is the story here. And mild temperatures, a lot milder than today. 2 degrees is the high for tomorrow, gusting 60 kilometers per hour. And again, those on and off gusts will continue. That will carry us up to 0 on Wednesday. We won't get quite as warm for Thursday and Friday, but still very mild for this time of year with daytime highs of -2. And then it looks like the weekend will be pretty toasty, kicking it off 8 degrees for a daytime high on Saturday.
A torn ACL is one of the most common injuries in sports, and women are more prone to suffer one. Now, an orthopedic surgeon in Quebec has developed an app that predicts whether people are at risk for the injury. Anastasia Dextrine reports.
The ACL is a ligament in the knee, and when torn or sprained, there can be long-term effects.
If you have that injury, you're out of your sports for a rehab that's a year long.
Dr. Paul Martineau is an orthopedic surgeon and director of sports medicine research. In his 18 years at the McGill University Health Centre, he's done more than 2,000 ACL surgeries, and he says injuries often appear starting around age 12.
It's become an epidemic where women are injuring themselves 7 times more than men. And the age of the athletes is getting younger and younger. You can see that at all levels of play.
From school sports to the elite professional level, Martineau says prevention is better than cure. Enter Hurt Blocker. The free app aims to flag the risk of ACL injury early and avoid related setbacks. The app is user-friendly. You start by taking a video of yourself doing this, jumping on each leg. The app uses artificial intelligence to analyze knee movement and stability as you land. It then determines if you might be predisposed to ACL injury.
It will process that data and come out with you jump in a way that's risky for your ACL. And if you need help, or if you're a red light, like we call them in the app, there are exercises you can do that decrease your risk of injury by 50%. It's huge.
The recommended exercises are known as neuromuscular training programs. The combination of moves like jogging and jumps helps to improve agility, strength, and balance. And already, Martineau says the app has reached 4,000 downloads in 2 months.
Well, essentially what we were trying to do is put physiotherapists, a doctor in your pocket so that parents, coaches, athletes could just test themselves at home.
Martineau says 12 universities and several professional teams will soon be using the app, and he hopes to see even more jump on board. Anastasia Dextrine, CTV News.
We told you earlier about the Alberta energy sector's reaction to the U.S. military action in Venezuela. Coming up, a look at how the markets reacted today. Investors react to Donald Trump sending the U.S. military into Venezuela. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich Carmeli Advisory Group. And first of all, how did the markets perform today?
Well, it wasn't all bad news to start the first trading day, a full week here in 2026, as we saw the TSX and the Dow hit all-time highs here today. And they were on the back of, I would say, different narratives. It was the materials, gold stocks pushing the Canadian market higher, and on the U.S. side, it was tech, gold, and everything, including materials and oil on that side. So it was a different tale of the tapes for these two countries.
And with the focus on oil in Venezuela, how are oil stocks reacting here in North America?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting one. That's what obviously pushed gold and all the kind of safe haven stocks higher today, but it also pushed the Canadian oil stocks lower, and that was a different tale than the U.S. because the U.S. stocks, oil stocks, were pushed quite a bit higher today because of their involvement in Venezuela. On the Canadian side, it is more of a competitive issue going on, saying that, hey, Venezuelan crude is very similar to heavy Canadian crude, and that might be the first one to go to the market. So I would say this is an overreaction, because we saw companies like C&Q and Cenovus down 5% and 6% today. And I would say that, the reaction to get that kind of production increase from Venezuela could take decades. So that's why this is an overreaction, maybe a short-term one that the sanctions may be lifted, but that would be all.
Okay, Robert, thanks very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thousands of Volvo owners in Canada will soon get a recall notice. Transport Canada has announced an update for an earlier recall affecting more than 40,000 newer Volvo cars and SUVs. The new notice says certain vehicles could potentially experience a software problem, causing rear-view camera images to not display when in reverse. A number of models are affected between 2021 and 2025. Volvo says it will notify affected owners by mail and send a software update. Leduc County says it was the target of a cybersecurity attack over the holidays. On Christmas Day, the county learned it was the target of a ransomware attack. The attack disabled some of the county's IT systems. Administration says the RCMP and the county's insurance and banking providers have been notified. The county says it's now increased security measures and work is underway to resume normal business operations. A forensic investigation is ongoing. Repairs continue on the feeder main break. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The city hopes to have the Bears Paw feeder main back in service next week, but the mayor is warning that water conservation measures will be needed for a while yet. Coming up at 6, we'll have Jeremy Farkas explain why when he joins us live in our studio. Also ahead, last year Calgary recorded its lowest number of homicides in a decade. Coming up, what police say is contributing to the drop in violent crime. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. An Alberta farm was surprised by a rare event on New Year's Day. Triplets. One of their cows gave birth to 3 little ones, and they all survived. Mom is doing fine as well as she looks over her accomplishments. The trio of calves are named Marla, Carla, and Darla. The farm says triplets are unusual on dairy farms.
And I just went to put my chains in the office to clean them off, and my dad looked at me and he goes, "You better try again." And I rolled my eyes and I'm like, no. To get them and to get them all alive was like, holy cow, like it's unreal.
Last year, the mother of the cow that gave birth this year also gave birth to triplets. They were a trio of bull calves named Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We've certainly had our share of cold conditions over the holidays, but it is warming up for the rest of the week. Right now in Calgary, it's misty, -15. Danielle has details coming up. Yeah, it's really cold right now.
It is.
But it's going to switch around, almost 180 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, so bundle up, take all those pretty pictures tonight, because all that will melt away by tomorrow afternoon when we get up to 2 degrees. All right, currently we're sitting at -15 with a wind chill at -22. Today's high was -13 with the wind chill of -19. So it was a cold one. Tomorrow is still cool to start off the day, but those gusts out of the southwest will kick us up to 2 degrees in the afternoon, then 0 for Wednesday, -2 for Thursday, mild for the next 3 basically. Ian?
Thank you, Danielle. A special Calgary Stampede episode of Murdoch Mysteries is set to air tonight, and it features the star of an Alberta filmed series. Heartland star Amber Marshall will play Annie Oakley in the episode, which was shot in Turner Valley last summer. Toronto's Detective Murdoch and Chief Constable Bracken Reed take a vacation to attend the original Calgary Stampede in 1912 and get roped into solving a murder with the help of Oakley. After nearly 2 decades as the lead of the modern Western drama, Marshall gets the chance to channel history.
I was practicing jumping on my horse in a dress. This is something that in 19 years of being on Heartland I've never had to think about before. So it's been really fun, and it's a whole different way of looking at a character and being able to play that persona and really dive into the past.
And the crossover episode highlights some TV history too. Both Murdoch and Heartland are in their 19th seasons and are Canada's longest running hour-long scripted shows. The episode airs tonight on CBC. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.